a business analyst. So some things and some steps in which we take as a business analyst. So I'll be going right and be diving deep into what we'll be discussing today. Hope we're excited today, this evening. I'm excited to meet you all. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to meet you all. So I'll be going ahead to share my screen to then we can go ahead to begin ASAP. So I would like to know when you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? I would like to get like the thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
I can see
all
your
right.
screen as
All
well.
right, great. So we're going to be beginning our session just right about now. So because we have like a lot of aspiring business analysts on the call, it would be very good to for us to have a an introduction of what business analysis is and for everyone to be aware of what business analysis is all about. So who is a business analyst? A business analyst is, pardon me, I'm trying to, all right. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can see your
All
screen
right.
as well.
All right. Just wanted to be sure. All right. So a business analyst is actually an individual with a goal of improving the working environment for people who are involved in analysis for systems, businesses, and process improvement. So when you hear business analysis, I'm sure a lot of us here, maybe we are still students or we are done with school, especially those maybe in biz art. You went from the name business analysis, as an individual, you have an in-depth knowledge of businesses and you actually try to find solutions to most of their business problems. That's simply who a business analyst is. And your goal is to ensure that the working environment of businesses are actually resolved. And what are the working environments, if you ask? It can be systems. So we know in businesses there are various systems, but as we advance in our career, we'll be hearing things like business architectures, systems planning, all those big, big words. But I'm going to take it chill today for us to have like I'll break it down for us today so that we'll have a bit of knowledge on each and of all of this. So some of the things as a business analyst you'll be working on, like I said, are systems. Looking at the architectural structure of businesses, their rundown of everything they do from the beginning to the end. Let's use for instance, you're building a house. You definitely know that before the building came up, there were different processes that were put together, or they had the bricks, they had the zinc, they had a whole lot of things that were put to place to make it a building as a whole and to a very beautiful structure. So that's who a business analyst is. A business analyst helps to provide solutions to businesses' needs, and that's basically who a business analyst is for us to actually have an idea of or for to actually have an idea of what a business analyst is. Another definition I have here is an individual person who performs business analysis tasks, no matter the job title or organizational role. So this is where it also gets tricky. There are some people in which they might be performing some business analyst tasks, like your we have some. I'm still going to be discussing that like forward in the class. You're not even aware. Like a whole lot of times, there's been like a clash or a comparison between business analysts and consultants, and even if you check um, um, positions in consulting firms, you see that there are positions for the business analyst role, and it's not even for the entry level. It's always like mid. You see the business analyst, and then you just instead of you starting from the beginning level, because you already have that critical thinking skill, negotiation skill, you don't need to go through the beginning and the foundation of consulting. You can just start from the second phase, and as you advance, depending on how experienced you are, you can go ahead to be an associate and moving forward. So this brings us to the next slide. So these are some of the roles of a business analyst. We have already explained to us that a business analyst actually helps to come up with solutions for businesses. So these are some of the things a business analyst does. First is identifying the business needs and recommending solutions, which this is the most important thing a business analyst actually carries out. So in business analysis, we don't say problems, we say needs. So your business always comes with a need, and as a business analyst, you actually meant to do your own um what's it called? Do your own findings, carry out proper researches to ensure that you're meeting up to your business needs and that you're providing the appropriate solution for them. That is the major thing in which a business analyst actually exists. Another thing is to train users. For instance, so we have different business analysts, we have different, but we're not going to go into that today because that's going to be a whole lot. You need to register with us at Utiva Business Analysis class if you want to see me and if you want to actually learn more about business analysis. But there's going to get to a point in your role in which, for the solutions in which you're going to recommend to your businesses, you need to train your users on how to make use of your solution, because definitely for you to employ solutions to the business, it means there was nothing there before. And we have different type of people in different businesses, different organizations. So it can be difficult for you to make them maybe adopt what's your solution. So you have to train them on how to use it. And it's from training them that they'll be able to adopt those solutions effectively and then pass it on to every other person within that system. Another thing is carrying out product slash process testing. So these are some of the things a business analyst does. So depending on the type of problem in which you're working on, a whole lot of times these days, business analysts, a whole lot of your solutions are always um, embedded with technology. So in terms of when you're working with technology, you definitely need to test what has been done. So a business analyst carries out process testing, product testing to ensure that what has actually been developed actually meets the business needs. So you're centered around ensuring that you're meeting up with the business needs, the goals and the objective. You're basically ensuring that you're satisfying the businesses and providing value. You see that word value is key to whatever solution in which you're coming with. Then we have research and monitoring. I already explained this earlier. Then we have gathering, analyzing our document requirements. As a business analyst, you're going to do a whole lot of documentation. If you don't like the documents, you need to learn how to document. I won't say you don't need to learn how to document. You need to learn how to write documentation. There are some key documents that you, as a business analyst, you're going to be writing. We have, for instance, the major one, which is the business requirement document. So all of this serves as a guide in actually developing your solution. We have the functional requirements. We have the use cases, user stories. All of these are things that a business analyst actually puts in place to ensure that whoever that is going to be helping your team that's going to be helping you in coming up with the solution will be able to implement that effectively. Aside implementing that effectively, it also ensures that your business now is actually carried along. So your document is like a checklist for them. Also, they are saying, okay, this is what we're going to achieve in the solution. So that's why it's very, very important for you to always have your documentations ready. So I hope we all here have a bit of understanding of what a business analyst is and some roles of a business analyst. So I would like to throw a question back to us. What are the key roles? Let me change my slide. You don't copy me. What are the key what are the key roles of a business analyst? Let's try. You can unmute, you can put your feedback in the chat. What are the key roles of a business analyst? Yeah, product process testing. Yes, thank you, Mel. Does any other person want to try documentation? Yeah.
Hello,
Mel is not the only one. We have men here.
hello, good evening.
Training. Yes. Good evening,
Good evening, ma'am.
Mustafa. Yeah, good evening. Nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. One of the key point is identify business need and recommending solution.
Perfect. Very important. That's one of the very important roles that a business analyst actually does. We have Balogun says identifying issues and preparing solutions. Great. Research. Great. You guys are following. That's nice. Thank you so much for following. So we'll be moving on quickly to the next slide. I can't take some of this, but I'll just give us a brief introduction of so as business analysts, we have our governing body, which is the International Institute for Business Analysts. I'll just be dropping the chat for us. Hold on. Sorry, I want to share the link with us because this is a practical session. I'm not going to be giving us so deep information, but I'll just want us for us to feed our curiosity and learn more. So we have the IIBA. I've dropped the link in the chat, which is our governing body for all business analysts. They control our certifications, they control everything that business analysts are known for and what they are identified for. So they are the ones that guide our governing bodies. Even what we learn as a whole as business analysts is being controlled by the IIBA. So at our free time, especially because we have a whole lot of aspirers, let's go to the IIB link, just go through it. If you even register, you get to attend free webinars. There are some advantages of you seeing free webinars, and you just get yourself inclined to the business analysis field. So why I digressing back, why I actually stated that introduced us to the IIBA is because they gave us an official um um they gave us an official information if an official description of what business analysis is all about. And here, what they stated is business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise. So remember, we said business and all of that. So in business analysis, we don't call our businesses maybe anybody you're working with, you either call them an enterprise or an organization. So these are some keywords. So as a business analyst, there are certain words you should be saying. There are some certain keyword technologies that you see people saying that, oh, this person is a business analyst. Just like the way other professions have some key technologies in which they use. Business analysts make use of some major keywordings. So this is still going on. Enterprise by defining needs. I already told us what needs is. Can anybody remember what needs is? I told us what needs is earlier. Can anyone remember? Another name for needs.
Problem.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Problem. So that's another name for need is problem and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders across cross-functional industry. So the beautiful thing about business analysis is you can work across different industries. Tech, finance, agriculture, government, name it. I'm not remembering everything, but telecommunications, you can work with everybody. As the saying goes, problem will be finished. So imagine the fact that you can actually help people to actually come up with effective solutions to their problem. Another thing I'll just like a bonus point I'll give to us here on this call is you should actually embrace critical thinking. As a business analyst, you should have top-notch curiosity in solving problems and for you to stand out. Like they said, there's nothing that is new in the surface of the earth at the moment. So think of any problem that is occurring. Some people must have actually experienced it. Thank God for technology. There's a whole lot of documentations happening. So you can do proper research to help you to come up with effective solutions. Technology is here. There's a whole lot of access to various things that help us with our effective solutions. So I'm just here giving us a prep on what to expect. So at our own, we can just screenshot this to have an understanding of what business analysis is. And I already shared a link, so we'll have an idea of what it is. We can't really go so much into them in depthly because I've covered some of the key points, but we can on our own just go read or come to us in business analysis at Utiva, and then you have all of this information to yourself. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the talking. I know I've been talking a lot, all true. So now we're going to begin our practical session up next. Hope we're excited. Hope we have our pens and our papers. All right, lovely sisters. Yes. Thank you. So for the practical session we have, also why I just did a brief introduction is for us that are here to understand what business analysis is all about. But in this practical session, we'll be learning some strategy techniques that business analysts actually employ to come up with an effective solution. So definitely we know sometimes it's not easy for you to come up with solutions. But there are a whole lot of strategic techniques that business analysts employ that actually help them to come up with their effective solution. And one of the strategy methods that we'll be speaking about this evening is one of the major strategies that usually employed by business analysts, especially for new businesses, new enterprises that are coming into probably new work environment. These are basic. Even in your personal small businesses, you can adopt this BMC to actually help you to actually ensure that you have like a full free flow of business and you make cool cash at the end of the day. Because that's the reason we are all in business to make profit and not forgetting ensuring that you satisfy your customers, because if you satisfy your customers you keep making money. So it's very important for us to remember all of this. So I'm moving on to the next slide. It already told us we are going to be speaking on the business model canvas. So if you can see my screen now, you will see that a business model, I already told us that a business model canvas is a strategy method that is usually employed by business analysts. So we have like over 12 strategy methods that you can adopt depending on the type of need you're working on. It will require you to adopt the most effective strategies that will help you to come up with your solution. But the BMC, the business model canvas, is usually the first point of entry, especially for new new problems, new businesses. This is like the very beginning that all businesses should actually be aware of. They must take note of all of these points too. So moving on, the business model canvas, it describes how an enterprise, I already told us what an enterprise is. Can anyone remember what an enterprise is? Another name for an enterprise.
An organization, a business.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you, ma'am. So that's exactly what an enterprise is all about. So a business model canvas describes how an enterprise creates, delivers, and captures value for and from its customers. So you're not only capturing value for your customers, you're also getting value from them. So in as much as you're trying to provide solutions from them, you're also seeing the value in them also. That's what the business model canvas actually does. To cut it short, the business model canvas is allows for mapping of programs, projects, and other initiatives. So if you see this image by my right side, you can see that it's almost like a mapping, like there are various segments there are various segments. We have the key partnership, key activities, key resources, value proposition, customer relationship, channels, customer segments, revenue streams, cost structures. So these are all of these fields in the business model Canva are what for any enterprise in which we're trying to come up with a solution for them. We need to answer each of these fields or components for them to ensure that we are able to effectively come up with a solution. So I'll be taking each of these components one by one for us to have an understanding of each of them. So the very first thing you should note about the BMCs, they don't follow a pattern in your business model Canva is your customer segment. If you don't know who your customer, you also call our customer segment our target audience. If you don't know your target audience, the other components in your BMC is useless. So in as much as it doesn't follow a particular order, is the very first thing you need to take note of is your customer segment. And our customer segment, like I already explained, is our target audience. Who are our target audience? The target audience are those that will actually be making use of maybe the enterprise products or services. So these are some of the things you need to know. If you don't know who your customers are, how would you be able to um, produce goods for them? So you need to at least be aware of your proposed target audience. Let me give, for instance, we have okay, this is too easy. Let's just say for I don't know if anybody knows Ensure. Ensure is like a they call it like the whole food, but it's like in a bottled form. So a lot of people take Ensure, maybe those that are sick, they said it has like all the proper food nutrients that you need, has everything. A whole lot of people that take that type of product, when you see it, we know it's very nice, it's very sweet, but the target audience is mainly for those that are sick and need appropriate nutrients, but they can't eat. So they have already identified their target audience. They already know, okay, so these are our target audience, those that are indisposed, elderly people, people that you have some people that have like serious needs that maybe they only have their food through pipes. So Ensure has made it easy for people in that field. So just look at it now, they've identified their target audience and they have various packaging. It's not just the small ones that we see in Nigeria that is inside the small bottle. There are various packages depending on the measurement you want. They can do all that for you. The next thing I'm going to be explaining, remember, it's not in a particular order, but the very first thing you need to identify is your customer segment, or if you don't remember that, remember it as your target audience. Then the value proposition. Fine, now that you know who your target audience is, what value do you think you want to give to these people? So it's very important for us to note that in as much as you already know what um you're going to be creating for your customers, how do you want to ensure that you create value to them? Because everybody is after value. In as much as you have some people who do not mind paying millions for as far as you're giving them value. So it's very important to create value. And value is not just giving something nice to your customers, is also what are you uniquely identified for. That's where competition comes in, because for every business you always have your competitors. Let's use our close up in the toothpaste industry, for instance. There's close up, there is Oral B. Please, you guys should say some of them. I can't remember. There's Oral B, Pepsodent, Colgate. There are actually a whole lot of them in the market, but each of these toothpaste brands have their unique proposition. I say toothpaste. Close up is saying fresh breath. That's what they are uniquely identified for. Another one is saying protective from cavity. Another one is saying white strong teeth, clear. Everybody has what they are uniquely identified for. So anybody their Sensodyne, thank you for sensitive teeth. So your target audience already know which to pick from. They don't just go to the shop and pick anything. You have some people that have really soft gum. They'll definitely go for milder toothpaste, like Mel said, Sensodyne that for sensitive mouth. So they'll definitely be tilting towards that. Or I think it's a more too. There are a whole lot of toothpaste, but they have their unique feature. In as much as they all have various prices, everyone knows that in which is best fitted for them. That will be leading us to the next component here, which is the channels. So now we have identified our target audience. We already know the value we want to give to our target audience and what we want to be uniquely identified for. So now that we've identified them, what we are uniquely selling, we want to be uniquely identified with our customers. How are we going to be how do we intend to deliver this our product and services to our customers? So that's what the channel speaks about. And it says here how your value proposition is delivered to your customers. For instance, let's use still using the toothpaste. We know how they deliver their customers. We know it's just the marketplaces. A lot of people, except maybe wholesalers that buy directly from the companies. But let's use e-commerce websites now, like Jumia, Konga, all of those big brands. We know how they deliver their goods or the products are through delivery services. So that is different. You need to order before you deliver. So that's what your channel is about. How you deliver your value or your end product to your customers. Then the fourth is the customer relationship. This is very, very key. Now that you've identified your customer segment, who are your target audience, you already know what you want to be uniquely identified for, the channels, how are you going to deliver this your value to the the next one I'm going to be discussing is the customer relationship. How do you keep relationships with your customers? It's very important. They always say what's that thing that they say when for you to actually keep retain people, you have to constantly keep them keep them in your faces, something like that. I can't really remember the word, but for you to stay relevant, you have to constantly be in people's faces. So how do you continue relationship with your customers? You see some brands, you see them having maybe gifts. They will tell their customers to subscribe. You see them, for instance, then back in those days, you see Coca-Cola, all these are Coca-Cola, they tell you to use the cans for you to win things. So there's various ways in which they actually interact with their customers. Now we see technology has come, we have social media platforms, a whole lot of brands have employed the use of social media, or we also have those that make use of mediums like TV, radio for advertisement. So these are some ways that you can do. Or some brands even have communities. They tell you to sign up. So you'll be having so when maybe new updates come, you'll be first to be noted on before maybe others in the public here. For instance, things like that, they'll make you feel special because when new information coming, you'll be aware. But mainly things like that are mainly maybe for like people that are dealing with maybe money or like some more securities that need to be defined. That will lead us to our next, which are the key activities. What are our key activities? So think about everything that you need to do to ensure that um, you're able to deliver value. All the processes, all the steps as a business that you take to deliver value. That is what your key activity says. And here it says these are the steps to be done in delivering a business value proposition. Here it says production, buying, services, and collaboration. So it all depends. For instance, in the key activities, for organizations that or enterprises that are into manufacturing, they'll state all the various steps in which they'll be carrying out their various production from their um, um, manufacturing to packaging to delivery. Just think about maybe raw materials, every step that they need to take to ensure that they are able to produce that value. Those are the key activities. So I'm going to give us a break now. I don't know if we have any questions so far before I move on. Let me go through the chat. Do we have any questions so far?
None from my end.
All right, thank you, my friend. I'll take that as a no, and I'll move on to the next, which is the revenue streams. So what are revenue streams? The revenue streams are simply the services your customers pay for, and definitely is what you're producing. So whatever type of services you're offering, how are your customers or your target audience going to be paying for them? For instance, brands like Netflix, you know how they make their money, how they make their revenue through subscription. Some they have to carry out sales like all of um brands that you may brands that perishable brands, you know, they have to do sales, assets, we know financial institutions, some are rentals, that's how they make their money. So the revenue streams are just what your customers pay for. How do they make those payments? What are the type of services that you offer that they are willing to pay for? That's simply what your revenue stream is about. Then the next will be moving on to the key resources. Who are your key resources? These are those that participate to ensure that your business actually goes successfully. Speaking about maybe organizations that produce some of their key resources. So we said here key resources can either be intellectual, human, or financial. So think about any of these three things that can contribute to the growth of your organization. That are your key resources. For instance, in a production company or a manufacturing company, excuse me, their key resource will be their suppliers, that those that will give them the raw materials, um, um, their workers, their key resources. Um, after they are done with that, they'll definitely need money. Yeah, some machines that they are going to make use of. So exactly, thank you, Mel. Facilities. So these are some of the things that you all need to put together to help to bring your brand to life. So you must pass through all of this to ensure that your brand actually comes to life. That's your key resources. And they are either facilities, intellectual, human, or financial. Intellectual, we already know what intellectual is. You're getting information from people, books, any source that gives you information are intellectual properties. Then human beings, human interactions, humans that participate in your workers, financial, you definitely need to make money, you have to put in money. So there's always need for finance. Then next is our key partners. So our key partners are from the name is very easy. These are your key stakeholders that contribute to the growth of your business. And your partners can be your suppliers and your retailers. I mean, these guys help you to supply your goods. They are the major people that help to push your goods to the market. Some of them even have quotes that they make. Maybe you put them on a particular percentage if they make this type of thing. So they are key partners. On a bigger level, we have big brands that partner together. For instance, when Money Point and some other financial institutions collaborated together to work together, or let's even use Big Brother. I'm sure one we watch Big Brother, maybe not now anymore, but those when it was interesting. When you're watching Big Brother, you see there are a whole lot of brands that collaborate with Big Brother. It's not like as if fine, Big Brother, they can't be, I think multi choice, they wouldn't be able to um put Big Brother together as one. They don't have so much funding. So they come, they partner with other brands to make that show a success, and each of them would benefit in one way or the other. Maybe brand awareness. There are different ways in which the partners will actually benefit from. For instance, in Big Brother, you have some designers partnering with them. You have brands like food brands, Indomie, like different brands partnering with them. You have Dano. There are a whole lot of products that will partner with them. We even have pay for some financial institutions. So all of this can actually help because you know that the people that are watching this show is not just in Nigeria. We have some people watching from all over the world. So imagine um the inmate, the housemates in the house making of your product, and then they're having an idea of, oh, for them, for this product to actually be here, that means they're actually good. I think at a point you had hair extensions like Lush too also contributing. So all of these partners that help you to create value in one way or the other, these are your key partnerships. Here we said key stakeholders that contribute to the growth of your business and fosters value to your customers. So you see, they're not only contributing to the growth of your business, they are also giving value to your customers. And we hear suppliers, retailers, and joint structure, etc. And finally, we have here the cost structure. Our cost structure is the money we pay out, the money that leaves our pocket as a business. So there's some regular income, there's some regular income that as a business you need to be paying for. For instance, brands, businesses in your fixed income, you know that fixed cost rather, maybe light bill, your cost, your worker salary, variable cost, economics of scale, things that will affect your business in one way or the other. As far as money is going to be leaving your hands, they're your cost structure. These are your day-to-day expenses, or not necessarily day-to-day expenses, but these are your constant expenses that as a business you need to take note of. So the cost structure helps to give a detailed analysis of what that business is actually going to go through all through their reign, probably as they go as far as they are still in business. This is going to be their constant cost structure. Staff salary, some of them might have to join professional bodies. There are a whole lot of things that different businesses pay for, and that is what, as far as is a constant payment, is going to definitely be in their cost structure. And that brings us to the end of our BMC slides. Do we have any questions before we start our practical session for you guys to start answering? So now you guys are going to be upcoming business analysts. I'm going to give you a case study, and you give answers to each of those components that I've listed. Do we have any questions before we move on? Okay. In the absence of no question, I'm guessing no one has any questions to ask. So you guys are very intelligent on this call. Kudos, 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 kudos.
Yeah,
So
I believe you're very smooth. I mean, very smooth, and everybody's paying attention. So I believe we're
yeah,
enjoying
yeah,
it.
they are. So next, what we are going to be picking on in this class is, so our case study to come up with our BMC is, we are going to be using a car ride business, like our car hauling businesses like Uber. So that's going to be, let's just imagine we are come. Let me not use Uber, but just give an example. For instance, let's say we are trying to a case study of a new car service the car service ride. For instance, let's just say the name of the brand is Red, or no, I think Pride already exists. So let's just say could no, that's not it. Please, one of you should give me a to give me a name of a car hauling. Motion. All right, Motion it is then. So thinking of motion, you already know motion has competitors in the market. Um we have Uber, InDrive, Rider. For those that are living in Lagos, we have Lag Ride. There are a whole lot of car hauling services that actually exist. So now, what do you think? We already said customer segment. Which of them did I say is the first, like one of the important things in the um component that we need to address? Can we remember? Customer segment, exactly. So now that motion is trying to come into the market, yeah, what do we think who do we think the customer segment of motion is going to be? So we started our practical session like this.
People that are not mobile, people that don't have a car.
Okay. Are those the only people that some people have cars and they use those services? So let's
Um,
let's let's think deeper.
9 to 5 hours.
Some 9 to 5 have cars now.
Okay. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't have a car, so I use Uber. So I'm taking
Okay,
target audience. Yeah.
exactly. So it can just be so first to identify your target audience, we can use maybe to make it easier, you can use a particular age range. We definitely know that in Nigeria, that's even the first step we should use to identify your target audience. We say in Nigeria, an adult is from 18 years. So definitely that is even your first point of who your target audience is. You don't want to fall short of maybe you're not meeting up with the policies of the state in which you're running your business. So your customers will be maybe from 18 to 60, something like that. So you can start with that. Then you can now start giving like sub groups of your target audience once you've defined their age structure. So now I've given you an idea. Let's think and bring it down.
Okay. Can we say people who live in urban areas, places that are congested?
Exactly, that makes sense because a whole lot of people would not want to be stuck in traffic. So things like that so actually does make sense. Yes, well, Moses says middle and upper income earners. Perfect. Definitely, don't expect low income earners to be making use of those services anyhow. So you already know the target audience. In case if you're going to be running ads, you already know the type of people that you'll be advertising your product or your brand to. So that's all. Since we already have an idea of our customer segment, we'll be moving on to the next, which is the value. Yes, working class, yes, which is the value. So what do you think the value of motion will be? Motion brand. What do we think the value will be? We already know we have competitors, and each of our competitors have their unique feature. So what do you think you want motion to be uniquely identified for?
Say able to beat cost compared to competitors, maybe lower prices.
Okay, a whole lot of them say lower prices. InDrive says lower prices. All of them will always claim lower prices. So, what is that unique thing you want to be identified for? Let's think deeper. Let me see. Mostly says customers who prioritize reliability and convenience. I mean, everybody that is entering the car wants convenience and reliability. So let's think deeper. You can see it's more than just saying we actually need to think deep to come up with each of these components. Exquisite comfort and safety. Electrical, this your English is big. Oh. Safety, exquisite comfort. Yeah, that's fine. So, are you trying to say so? you didn't mention it to me in your target audience. When you say explicit comfort, are you your target audience? I don't know. How much do you think they are willing to pay for? If you're saying exquisite, that means you're really coming. Are you coming to pick them with a G wagon or something? What are you coming? That your exquisite is quite big. Quick arrival of destination is one, so you can hold them accountable to that. If you can actually walk, but places that have traffic, how you go do am? So I understand safety. Safety is paramount. We have actually have to employ safety. That should even be non-negotiable to be in part of the value you're going to be offering. Safety is very important. Flying cars. Wow, Mel, are you on earth with us? I like that you're thinking far. Flying cars. Wow. To save us from traffic, yeah. Interesting. Flying cars. We've not seen flying cars in Nigeria yet, but it'd be nice if you can bring it in for us. Let's think of the value, another value we can offer. What other value do we think we can come up with? Comfort. The said comfort. Comfort is general, just like the way safety is general. Comfort should be general because people are choosing to enter your ride because they want comfort. They can as well use a bus to enter, but they want their privacy and they want their comfort. So that's common amongst your competitors. Reliability. For you to be in this business, you have to be reliable. Faster picked up. Places that have traffic, how are you going to fly? That's why Mel says flying cars. So I'll just help us. Let's say, for instance, now, so we know in Nigeria, accommodation, that's good. So how are you going to that makes sense. Accommodations for people with disabilities. So it makes sense because you see some people unwilling to carry people that are disabled or have one thing or the other. Oh, you cannot enter my car. So great one, Olamide. That was nice. That was like a good thought. So you can say equal representation of customers. So you're not you can book some rides now, and when you come like sorry, I cannot go, your load is too much, or I don't want you to, they will start tell you something that they'll tell you, oh please cancel the ride, I don't want you. Or they might see you with a puppy and they're like, no, I don't want you in my car. Like, so everybody has, so now accommodating for people with disabilities is actually a great one. I was expecting us to maybe employ our traditional like Nigeria, we have various cultures. For instance, you can just imbibe a bit of because none of these rides um they are not in tune with our culture. So maybe you can say maybe for each of our riders, maybe they can have their, just like the way you go to the ATM, you have access to like different languages, your local languages. So you can think none of these services are doing something like that. So you can make your app to be unique for each of these people, or so that even like for instance, majority of the people that book rides are young people. You hardly see the older generation booking. They'll tell their children, please help me book this ride. It's not like as if they don't know. I mean, they use Facebook, but it might be easier if they're saying it in their local dialect and they might be able to relate to it. So there are a whole lot of things we can think about our value. So I'll just leave it to us to think about the value we want to have for promotion. So let's go to the next one, which is the channels. So how do you intend to what is our channels? How do you intend to deliver your value to your customers? This is just like It's general here. Mobile app. Yep, right. Mobile app. That's definitely the way in which you're going to um 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 deliver your value to your customers. So that's nice. Then the next is customer relationship. How do you want to keep interactions with your customers?
Customer support, reliable
Mm,
customer support.
yeah, 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 nice. Kenechukwu says feedback surveys. Yeah, very important. It's very good to always get feedback from your customers because they will feel heard, especially when you um in actually do the thing that they said, you're relying on their feedback. So when they see it's been worked on, they feel happy. Can we all try? Can we say some more? Social media, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we have good understanding of that. So I'll just treat one more and then you take the rest as your assignment, or you come and join us at Utiva to get better understanding of the BMC. So the last I'm going to be taking is the revenue stream. What do you think the revenue stream is going to be in this case? So we know our revenue stream is the what your customers are willing to pay for. What do you think this falls under here?
Yeah, the regular fares.
Sorry?
The regular fares, the transports like the fares. Yeah.
So here,
The-
here, I think here, no, you guys should try. I'm not meant to tell you the answers. Try. Pink caramel.
There could also be subscription plans.
Thank you. The subscription plans. There's subscription plan. There's rental because you're in one way or the other renting the rides. Yeah. In as much as you're not renting it all through. Some people even rent throughout the day, but you're also renting. You're making use of that car for that time. So yeah. So that brings us to the end of our our practical session. We can take the rest as our assignment. If you can complete it, upload it on your social media platform, tag Utiva. It would be amazing to see some of that we're actually working on it. And thank you so much, guys, for joining today's session. I hope you actually did learn a lot today. So I'll be handing over back to Emmanuel in case if he has any feedback or things to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ozioma. That was a very smooth session. Honestly, I have learned a lot. I can tell you for free. I have learned a lot. I'm feeling inclined to join the business analyst class. I think I will enjoy it so much. The lecture was so smooth, and I think I hope we can build motion. We can build the app itself. That will be so
Yes,
nice.
we have people aspiring. That's we say it's catch them young. So with the energy in
Oh,
which you have, you can do that. I believe.
yeah, that would be so nice. That would be so nice. So all right. So we're going to make it very snappy. I believe that the session was very smooth. And if you so I think somebody dropped a question in the chat box earlier. I just I picked a glance of it. But if you have questions, you can quickly drop it in the chat box so we can take it before we leave. I saw a question. So um Kristen dropped a question earlier. He said, please differentiate between business analysis and project management. The difference between business analysis and project management. So that's for you, Ozioma. Please, if you have questions, you can quickly drop it in the chat box so we take them before we.
Okay. So in terms of the difference between a business analyst and a project manager. So a project manager manages everything that for instance, in a team, a project manager can be from the enterprise or the business themselves. They're just going to see through the project in which they're working on. For instance, if you need anything, the project manager is just there to ensure that everything goes well. They provide anything that you might need to ensure that the project actually goes smooth. Help to also track the timing. Maybe the business analyst already told them, okay, this is the time we're going to work on. The project manager follows that to ensure that things are on track, manages the stakeholders because now the business, so the project manager is mainly from the business side. They know everything about the business, information, resources that you might need that will help you with your solution. They can be the ones to provide that. Then your business analyst, you're coming up with a solution for the business. So the project manager can even be part of your stakeholders or part of the business that come with a problem. So the business analyst comes up with a solution. You're trying to come up with an effective solution. And your business, as a business analyst, you have your own team members. And we call them maybe your development team or whoever that's going to be working with you to come up with an effective solution. And you write your documentations. I know the project manager has like writes the project charter, everything that the project is going to do, the cost analysis, the project manager takes note of that. But the business analyst documents the requirements and speaks about the solution that is going to be implemented. So that's the major thing. The business analyst is the doer, like you're carrying out the action. The project manager is maybe managerial. Yeah, that's what I can say. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
All right, thank you very much, Ozioma. I hope Christian picked that and got the answer. So everyone, I just want you to um send your reaction, say thank you to Ozioma because this class was very, very, very.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. You're welcome.
Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Please, if you can hear
Yes,
me.
I hear you now.
All right, that's great. That's great. Thank you. So, like I said, all right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining tonight. Thank you. I hope you have learned one or two things. I hope you are inspired. I hope you are energized to, pursue that BA career again with us at Utiva. So make sure you reach out to me tonight. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Our next call is starting very soon. Very soon. So reach out to me and let's help you kickstart. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Bye. Take care of yourself.